I was doing the marketing for opening of branches, and what the bank would do when they would open a branch was they would create a neighborhood newspaper for a short period of time to promote the bank being open, and we would put out these newspapers in different neighborhoods and have bank advertising in there and bank promotions, and then I would fill up the rest of the paper with neighborhood news. So it was really, the fact that I took a marketing tool that the bank was using and realized that, there was a place for it. So took over the publication in late 1982. I had only been working for the bank for about 8 months. And then, I was just out of college, a year and a half out of college. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any business sense, more or less. So that was really the genesis of it. We would flood the neighborhood with newspapers. And, again, not a new idea. Put flyers in everybody's hands. Let people see something they can hold and read, and it'll basically get your message across. And newspapers, were a very accepted way of communicating at that time. There was no internet, there was TV and radio, but still newspapers were a go-to place for people to find news. And, one of the things that I've realized over the years that it's, in the news business, it's very easy to get readership if you just give people information they want to know about. If you just cover stuff that has to do with their lives, their neighborhoods, their place in society, they'll read your paper and they'll keep coming back to read more as long as they find something of value in it. The News Star is actually the smallest footprint of all 3 of our newspapers, but they're really based on township boundaries, and that means for me, when I'm thinking about what we're supposed to be doing, I try to think, if I was a property owner, if I was a tenant, if I was a resident, if I was a business owner, what would I want to know? I mean, what would most concern me? And that would always, lead you to pick the most local issues and stories. And then just, at that point, try and do a good job of it, make deadline, and, try not to be, biased and unfair. And now the News Star, that wasn't the paper I started with. We took them over later. You come with a reputation. When we took over the old Learner newspapers, it came with a reputation that people knew it already and trusted it, and it wasn't really hard to play off of that, and then carry it through. But so you can pick up the printed version and read it for free. I like to say our best reader is A, a nosy neighbor, B, with a mortgage. So it's not until people get invested in their neighborhood. Kids are interested in it, but not to the extent that an adult would be. Not with somebody with a job and a mortgage and a family and a house, and that walks the streets and doesn't want to get mugged. All of a sudden they become very interested in the neighborhood when they have stakes at play. When you invest in a community, all of a sudden, you see something where there's a problem, and you're going like, well, I can call 911, or I can call City Hall, I can call my alderman, but it's not going to happen unless I do something. So, joining and bonding together into social networks. Before there were social media, there was the Kiwanis Club, the Lions Club, the Chamber of Commerce, your church group, the Ladies Club. You had all these organizations, and they did stuff that made their communities stronger and better. And as long as us as a media entity, finds out about them and encourages people to contact us, because I can only do so much. I've got reporters that are out there. We have a certain amount of foot power that are out there working the streets, but by and large, 80% of the stuff I know is because it comes to me. I count on people reaching out to us incredibly.